All right, I'm going to jump right into this video so that you will know what we're talking about. So if you saw the title, it is Moving Through Life with SWAG. What does SWAG stand for? Shout out to Coach Candace Mackey. She is the connection coach, and she is in a space that I am in with extreme execution coaches. And this is something that I learned from her, so I wanted to share with you. On the last video that I had, I spoke about self-awareness, and then there were 4 tips that can help you increase your self-awareness. From that time, I received this amazing information and something that's so practical that gives you 4 things that you can do to move through your life with SWAG. So what is SWAG? SWAG stands for self-awareness. See that connection? It stands for wisdom, the W. A is acceptance, and then G is for grace. So the way that it was explained to me, and I will explain it to you, you can use this framework as you move through your life. In our lives, we have things that happen to us, things that we do to other people, and then this offers you a framework for you to be able to pause and to reflect, and again, increasing our awareness as we make better responses internally, externally, and it can be whatever situation. So I am going to give an example, and I had a couple of things that I saw in this, and I thought it would be helpful for you. So before I give my example, I want you to think about something. I have no edits for this video, but I'm pretending that I do. I'm going to speak life, but in the meantime, I want you to think of something that you can apply this framework for you and for your life. So SWAG, S-W-A-G. So for my situation, I am going to think of the time when I'm just joking. It's not that deep. So I have a situation that happened where I didn't do the best work that I know I could, and I know I didn't put a lot of time into it. So the way that I can move through life with SWAG with this is that I can first apply the S. How was I self-aware? I know that I was doing multiple things, and I put attention into the situation or what I was doing, but I know I didn't give a lot of additional time or attention, and I didn't go over it the day of that I did this work and the information that I put out. I was aware, and with that awareness, I did not criticize myself. I was just aware, like, Jasmine, you know, you could have actually put more time in it, and you know, you could have put more attention into it. So going to wisdom, I remembered, I even heard, it was just like, it wasn't the worst thing that ever happened, or it wasn't your worst work. It really wasn't your best either. The reason why I use that for wisdom is that because sometimes it's easy to want to scrap everything when you do a thing, or when I do a thing. It can be easy, but the wisdom was just like, no, you understand why it happened or did not happen the way that it could have happened. And I know this sounds in general, but I want to make this part general for the first example. And then acceptance. I accepted, and I said, you know, I know why it didn't happen or turn out the way that it could have happened, and I accepted that. I didn't blame, okay, I had this going on. I didn't blame anybody. I didn't even blame myself. I accepted what was and let it go. And then finally, I gave myself grace. I said, Jasmine, you actually, you didn't do a horrible job. You know how sometimes we can be very hard on ourselves? Sometimes I don't want to say I can be hard on myself. I realize that sometimes I'm putting myself in a, or at a standard that I'm the only one that's holding me to. So I gave myself some grace, and I said, Jasmine, you know what to do next time. So that is one general example, but I have one that's a more specific one, and it is this way. It is this example. I lost my key. And this is something that I haven't done in such a long time, and it's been a long time. I have a brother-in-law who he's had to come and get my key, like open up the car while the car was running, so to speak. Mind you, I am in Michigan, and I have warmed up my car and shut the door, and yeah, car's still running. I have another brother-in-law who has said, like, Jasmine, you have your keys? You have your keys? Even joked with me one time, and I was like, I put them right on the counter so that I wouldn't lose them. And I'm just looking around for my keys, and then I look at my brother-in-law, Eric, and I'm like, you have my keys. So he was just making a joke, but it's been a long time since I've lost my keys. So I lost my keys, and I have a space that I'm in with a co-working space, so I had the key fob on this particular key set. So I have a couple of key sets. So this is the one that I lost. How I move through life with swag is that with self-awareness, I was just like, wow, you haven't lost your keys in a while. All right, let's go, Jazz. Were you doing too much? Like, I was just aware that this is not something that's my norm. And instead of taking it to the extent of what I did wrong or things of that nature, I was just like, this is just something, I don't know what happened to it, but it's gone, Jasmine. That's what it is. And instead of taking the time to try to figure it out, like for the entire weekend, I said, look for them where you think they could be. I did. When I didn't find them, I sent an email to the community manager and said, I lost my key fob. I need another pair of keys, or I need another key fob. And I let it go. The reason why that was self-awareness for me is because I could have started thinking about what this meant and how this, all of these things. I just was like, you lost the keys and you can't find them. Don't put your energy on it. That was wisdom. I'm going to go to wisdom, because instead of me trying to find something that I still haven't been able to find, I put my energy into what I could do, and then that is what I utilize, and that's where I put all my forward-facing energy. That acceptance of, Jasmine, you just lost your key. That's all it is. It's not because you were being too busy. It could have just fallen, and I took that as the lesson, as opposed to, see, you're doing too much. I have lived a life where I was doing too much, but I wasn't. And I had to accept sometimes things just happen in life, instead of putting this judgment or whatever on it. And then grace. I gave myself grace. I even asked the person, was like, well, maybe a replacement fee. Instead of me saying, you did it, you have to pay for it, I said, can you just tack it on my my invoice when I have to pay it? I asked because I gave myself the grace and the space to say, Jasmine, you just lost the key. You didn't lose your identity or your worth or anything of that nature. So that is how you can move through your life with swag. So self-awareness, wisdom, acceptance, and grace. So the reason why I am coming to you with this information is because the more self-aware we are, and again, you'll be able to get more of this wonderful content. I'm gonna start inviting other people on, again, as a resource for you to be able to grow in ways that you may not know that you could even do, but sometimes we just need the space to do that. So I have taken my assessment. It's called a flight assessment, and you will be able to have the option. Again, my new workbook is coming out, Healthy by Design. It is coming out in the fall, and I'm just going to continue to bring information that has been helpful for me, and I'm going to be sharing the resources that have been helpful for me. So if you're going to be interested in the workbook, please check out the link, and you will be able to get on the wait list. There's going to be more information to come. And then also the flight assessment. This is a tool that I have been able to gratefully in this year be certified in, and I'm going to be rolling this out once that that workbook and the information for Healthy by Design is in front of you. So stay tuned, and remember, continue to move through life with swag. So remember, swag is for self-awareness, wisdom, acceptance, and grace. You're worth it. You're worthy. Let's go. Let's grow.